Sex and gender. We use these terms interchangeably to discuss what a doctor makes of our genitals when we're born. They often announce, "It's a boy," or "It's a girl." Three seemingly simple words that will carry with us our entire lives. I'm S.J. Lyon, and this is the Sex Talk. The quick and easy answer to today's question is yes, sex and gender are very different things. Of course, there's a lot that goes into why that is. The simplest place to start is by defining our terms. Sex is the classification or assignment of someone based on the appearance of their genitals, reproductive systems, or the structure of their chromosomes. Now, before binary upholders latch onto this definition as proof that there are only two genders, let me just shoot you down and say no. No, it doesn't. People have been known to be born with ambiguous genitals, both types of genitals or reproductive systems, or extra chromosomes. How exactly do you define those people? Of course, with the earlier two cases, a doctor and parents, guardians, whatever, will usually decide to essentially shape their child's genitals. This might involve removing parts or altering what's there to make it look more typical. Still, you can't go changing chromosomes. That leaves you with this still undefined group. Only, they're not undefined. Intersex is used as an umbrella term to describe the many conditions an individual can be born in where their reproductive or sexual anatomy doesn't quite fit into either female or male. It's estimated that 1 in every 1,000 to 20,000 person that is born intersex. And this range is so large simply because people aren't going out and getting their chromosomes tested. Where sex is based on physical, anatomical things, gender is a lot more complicated. It's intellectual, psychological, and social. It's a laundry list of things that we as a society believe to fit into the categories of either masculine or feminine. Essentially, gender is just an idea. It's a social construct that is upheld simply because we choose to uphold it. Admittedly, that makes it sound easier to deconstruct than it is. Just because you know something's a construct doesn't mean you can undo years, centuries of programming. Younger generations continue to move away from the restrictive and typical gender norms of their parents and grandparents, yet plenty of young people still believe that asking someone out, making the first move sexually, and providing condoms is something that men are supposed to do, while saying no to sex, setting and enforcing sexual boundaries, and bringing up and providing birth control are typically women's roles. When we start to deconstruct some of these ideas, we can see a lot of the logical issues with them. For instance, many people in society don't see a problem with men being promiscuous, whereas they'll turn around and shame any woman who dare even think about sex. These are double standards, and they suck for both women and men. Chances are we've all experienced what is called gender dysphoria at one time or another in our lives. This is when we experience a discomfort with our sex or gender identity and the gender roles in the world at large. It can take many forms. Maybe you felt uncomfortable with clothing that a parent or guardian picked out for you as a child. Maybe you wanted a certain toy and someone said that it was inappropriate for you. Maybe you didn't feel that way until puberty, when your body started to exhibit more physical characteristics of your assigned sex. Maybe your gender dysphoria runs deeper than just brief moments of discomfort. If you're cisgender, you may or may not have experienced gender dysphoria. If you're transgender, you absolutely have. Cisgender is used to describe people whose gender feels like a fit with their assigned sex. Transgender refers to individuals who feel their gender identity or expression is in stark contrast to their assigned sex. There's nothing weird or wrong about being transgender or gender nonconforming. There's nothing even new about it. It's just more visible now. We'll discuss transgender, non-binary, and cisgender in future videos, but I want to leave you with this. Gender normativity is becoming more of a choice than a mandate. We can choose to subvert expectation and free ourselves from the shackles of typical gender roles. Even if you feel like a typical gender role fits you, please just understand that that's not true for everyone. The most beautiful thing we can do is to give people the space to be unashamedly themselves. I'm S.J. Lyon. This has been the Sex Talk on sex versus gender. And until next time, stay safe, everyone.